Good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, Matthew, from the Day and Night podcast. Um, so, once again, Mark will not be able to join us because he's currently working. So, uh, he will be with us tomorrow at probably 5 o'clock Eastern Time with a great topic that he's going to present us with. So I don't want anyone to get discouraged if you're missing him. He'll be back. He's still on the show. So no worries. So we have another great episode for you today. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the last two with the last two guests. As I said before, for the month of November, we have guests for every show other than when the show Mark does tomorrow. And in the beginning part of December, we have slated about two, three more guests. So for the next month and a half, you guys will have the opportunity to see guests in various different topics, various different backgrounds. So, and the topic is going to be pretty broad. So hopefully you enjoying it. Continue to like, comment. I want to say thank you for all those that's been commenting lately on the shows. So just continue to do that. Make sure you share, comment like you been doing, like, and make sure you share this so other people can get to see it, and the algorithm can pick it up, and it'll be put out more, to more people, and more people know about the Day and Night podcast. So, our guest today is going to be Tracy Unscore. She's an attorney and she's a burnout specialist as well. So she's a certified emotional freedom techniques, which is called EFT, and she's a tapping practitioner, and she's the owner of Tap Burnout. Tracy is an attorney turned energy healer, specializing in burnout prevention and recovery for lawyers, as well as providing support for law students and recent law school graduates through her signature Bar and Beyond program. So this one touches me a little more, probably for all the guests that we're going to have, just for the simple fact that she's an empath like myself. So when I read her profile and saw that she's an empath, that really like it touched me. So I was like, yeah, I got to have her on here. And so I'm excited. And with no further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to Tracy. Hello, Tracy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Awesome. So I just want to say thank you because I believe you're in California, correct?
I am.
Yeah. So I know it's probably over there. So I appreciate you getting up early and giving us your time. Okay. So I
Absolutely.
already went over your bio. So I was just telling our viewers who you are, what you specialize in. And I was just saying that this one means a lot to me because I'm a empath as well.
Hmm.
So when I read your bio and it's was basically saying that you are empath and you help people and you're a certified practitioner, that sent like goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps because I love it. I love the work. I love helping people. I'm still pretty new to this, so I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But so I just want you to explain to everyone as far as who you are, how you got into this, and why do you do it.
Sure. I've been an attorney for the past 15 years. So that is a pretty different world from the energy healing, holistic practitioner world. And I got into that really through my own struggles with burnout, anxiety, depression,
Mhm.
which really I've struggled with even before becoming an attorney. But that was kind of like pouring gasoline on the fire for me,
Right.
having such a stressful career. And
Hmm.
so I kind of went through a spiritual awakening, for lack of a better term, that really caused me to question everything.
Right.
And, what we've been taught in terms of our own power, our
Hmm.
ability to heal ourselves. this hustle culture that we've been so programmed with,
Right.
and really opened my eyes to a lot of holistic and alternative
Hmm.
remedies because I had tried everything. I had tried traditional talk therapy, which is great. I'm a fan of that. I had tried different medications, really everything, and nothing truly helped. And what I came to learn is that burnout and all the things that come with it, the job is never really the problem. The,
Right.
there's never one single issue. It's really the symptom of
Hmm.
much deeper issues, and we have to solve those those deeper underlying issues. So when we talk about energy healing, it's almost kind of redundant, right? Because
Yes.
if
Hmm.
everything is energy, then it's just healing, and we can heal ourselves. We were made to heal
Right.
ourselves. So I stumbled upon emotional freedom techniques or EFT tapping a few years ago. I'm embarrassed to say I heard about it much earlier before I tried
Right.
it. I was such a skeptic. I was like, that's too good to be true. That seems too easy.
Right.
And just kind of dismissed it. I tried it finally. I wish I had done it much sooner. Nothing worked like EFT works for me. And I
Okay.
thought, I need to bring this to as many people as possible. Not only that, but I think lawyers in particular are the group I need to bring this to. And so
Right.
I now specialize in helping other lawyers and high
Hmm.
stress professionals recover and prevent burnout.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I'm just curious, do you only work with attorneys or do you reach out to general public as well, just attorneys?
I will gladly work with anyone. I primarily market to attorneys, but what I found is obviously we're not the only profession that has high rates of stress and burnout.
Right.
Everyone is really struggling these days. You talk to
Hmm.
people across professions,
Yes.
tired. We have similar financial worries. So
Hmm.
I'd say anyone can benefit greatly from this. The thing I love about focusing on burnout is that since that's never the real problem, I get to work with people on a whole variety of underlying issues that have
Right.
nothing to do with being a lawyer, from wanting to quit smoking,
Hmm.
from anxiety about driving, fears, phobias, religious trauma,
Right.
relationships. So this works on anything and everything. So that's
Okay.
kind of it.
Okay, awesome. So now when I read the tapping, I'm pretty well versed as far as most of the energy healing techniques, but I've never actually heard of tapping.
Yeah.
So if you could just talk about, if you can explain in detail exactly what you mean by tapping. Is it like physically touching a person or is it just hovering over them? Exactly what is tapping?
Yes. So tapping is a self-healing technique. So you tap on yourself. I never actually, place hands on anyone. And in fact, I
Okay.
do pretty much most of my sessions remote via Zoom.
Right.
So tapping, when we say tapping, we're talking about tapping on specific meridian points
Okay.
in the body in a specific sequence while we focus on a particular, could be a memory, an issue, a problem. And it's
Hmm.
based in traditional Chinese medicine. So it's these same
Okay.
meridian points that we're familiar with from acupuncture,
Okay.
and centers around that core premise that everything is energy and that all negative emotion, and really by extension, any physical
Right.
issues are caused by an energy blockage within
Hmm.
the body. So we can think of the meridian system as like this energetic highway.
Right.
And sometimes, there's a traffic jam on that highway. We've got to get
Hmm.
it cleared and running smoothly again. And really, traditional Chinese medicine was way ahead of its time thousands
Yes.
of years ago because this meridian system really corresponds to the nervous system and what we
Hmm.
know as the nervous system in like
Right.
modern Western medicine.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, basically our life force energy, our chi, flows
Hmm.
through these meridians. And sometimes tapping is referred to as emotional acupuncture or acupuncture without needles, because
Right.
you can get those same effects by tapping on what they have found are certain points on the
Hmm.
head, upper torso. Just show you a few of the points here that are tied to certain emotions and
Okay.
these like emotional channels.
Right. So when someone does the tapping, is it an immediate relief, or is it something that's going to take time? Is there signs and symptoms as far as afterwards that they should be aware of? Like, okay, if I tap and I actually have an emotional release, what type of emotional release will they have? Is it instant, or is it maybe a day later, 5 hours later? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, oh, that's a great question. So obviously everyone's different and every issue is a little bit
Hmm.
different, but I've seen phenomenal results. I'd say for the most part, people will feel relief
Right.
after one session. So
Okay.
we always use a subjective 0 to 10 scale, whatever issue we're working on. I'll have that my client rate where they are, 10 being the worst or the highest, and 0 being doesn't bother them at all. So that
Okay.
we can see at the end and after each round of tapping, okay, where are you? Has that number moved?
Hmm.
And the coolest thing about doing this is seeing people go from like a 9 to a 3 like that.
Right.
Uh, Now, and some other signs and that it's working, people will yawn, people
Okay.
will laugh, people will burp, which just tells us that that energy is getting moving. Tears are common. Sometimes people
Right.
will cry. And then those effects do continue for hours and even days after the session. So you
Okay.
may, a few days later, all of a sudden just realize I'm not bothered by this thing anymore, or I'm responding differently, or
Right.
I have a new idea about how to solve this problem.
Right.
So the effects are they're fast and they're cumulative and just improve with time.
Okay. Awesome. Now, I'm a massage therapist as well. So one of my favorite modalities was craniosacral because
Yeah.
that's partly energy work. And my first experience was I was in class and one of the students, she laid on the table. And I don't know if you are familiar with craniosacral. So you take the two fingers, but I think it's Venus and Jupiter. So you place it right above the bridge of their nose, and that's the energy point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you place the other hand underneath, like midpoint of the suboccipital, and she had a psychosomatic release, and she just broke down crying, and when she got off the table, you could just see that she was 100% better. She looked better. She looked lighter. She was smiling. You can like actually see the weight was just lifted off of her. So that was like an instantaneous result as far as with that energy work.
Mm-hmm.
So I know some people aren't 100% aware, what energy is. Some people can't really grasp the idea that okay, we're energy and that there's energy that's constantly flowing through us. So when your clients come in, how do you explain to them? Do you give them like homework or something? Do you actually break down as far as what energy is and how it flows through us to prepare them for the session? Or is it just, okay, this is what I want to do and go with it?
Oh, I love that question. It really depends on the client. So I'll have some people who I know are more familiar with this type of work.
Hmm.
And a lot of us just kind of intuitively understand this, even
Right,
like a deeper soul level. Of course,
right,
everything's energy. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We know we
right,
can't see and touch everything.
right,
Working with a lot of lawyers, they tend to be skeptical and they
right.
tend to be a lot more evidence based and
Okay.
not, the legal industry is still pretty conservative and traditional. So I don't have
Yes.
a whole lot of clients who are real into the woo woo
Right.
stuff. So the great thing about EFT is that it has been clinically proven effective in improving anxiety, PTSD,
Okay.
it does that by sending calming signals to the amygdala in the brain. So if I have a client who's maybe more receptive to a Western medicine
Hmm.
scientific explanation of what we're doing, then
Right.
great. That's then we can focus on that because it has been proven in that realm too.
Okay.
If a client wants to really go there with me, because I am highly intuitive, and to integrate working with like the chakras and
Right.
really get into the more spiritual side of it, then
Right.
we can go there. But it really depends on their comfort level and what they're able to take in and understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna get a little personal, but not too personal.
Yeah.
So, just for the viewers out there, so when did you realize that you were actually empath?
Oh gosh. That term became a lot more commonly used, I'd say, in the last like 10 to 15 years. So I guess I
Yes.
didn't have a name for it.
Right.
But when I think back to when I was a kid, I mean, loving animals,
Hmm.
crying at the thought of like leaving a toy behind, feeling like my
Right.
toys had feelings, being so, deeply bothered by things like bullying or seeing any kind of injustice.
Hmm.
So the signs were always there.
Okay. So you found as though that's really helpful with your practice, um, to actually be an empath as far as just having the gift of, being able to touch and tap and use the modality that way. Because for me, the reason why I ask, because I know there's different types of empaths. Um, for me, I can actually feel like if someone is grieving, if someone is happy, I can feel like if it's a positive energy coming off the person or if it's negative. Um, so mine is slightly different. I still have empathy and stuff for animals and other things, but mine is more so if the individual is dealing with just trauma in their life. And I can actually read, not maybe pinpoint 100%, but I can definitely tell that something is wrong and I can pick up on it. Um, so it's been a struggle sometimes, when you tell somebody, well, I can feel this, and they like, man, you don't feel anything, nothing is wrong. And then like maybe the same day or time after that, they will come back and say, well, yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. And this is, the stuff that I'm going through. So with the EFT, is it a challenge sometimes to separate the being an empath as far as actually being able to do the modality? If that makes sense.
Yeah, there have been a few times where I've almost been moved to tears. And
Hmm.
as a practitioner, it's very important to not have like an overly reactive emotional response to what your client's
Right.
telling you, because you are basically just a neutral, safe space.
Hmm.
And but particularly if it's someone who I know really well, there's and then they're crying, my natural inclination is
Yeah.
to the tears want to start flowing also, and
Right.
I'll have to kind of um, not shut off, but
Right.
just stay so focused on them and kind of go to a different
Hmm.
place mentally just for that session.
Right.
And then of course do some work after on my own to like clear and disconnect from their energy. Because I don't know if you've had the same experience, but as an empath, sometimes we tend to just absorb so much,
Yes.
take things
Yes.
on as our own. And
Right.
before I knew how to do that and how to like
Hmm.
clear your energy at the end of the day and disconnect,
Right.
I was a wreck because I was
Yeah.
carrying all, everything was just sticking on me. And I didn't know. So it's definitely something I'm mindful of when I'm working with clients.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what when I was doing massage therapy, I would always come home and I would detox. I would take a bath. I
Yeah.
would sage and then take a bath and just detox for about maybe 30, 40 minutes. Because you could
So
literally feel, some of the stuff coming off of people and, energy or whatever the case is. Okay. So now, how would someone, because like I said, I've never heard of EFT. So I haven't Googled it yet, but how would someone go about finding a practitioner other
so
than just Google if it's not there?
yeah, absolutely. So there are different directories. So I'm a member of AEFTP. Association of EFT Professionals. The nice thing about going through a registry directory like that is that
Hmm.
everyone is certified. There is no one uniform certifying body for EFT practitioners. It's kind of unregulated. So I
Okay.
do encourage everyone to find someone who is properly certified, especially if you have any sort of trauma in your background, very important. Um, but Google is a good place to start. A
Right.
lot of practitioners offer Zoom remote sessions like I do, so location is not a big issue. And YouTube actually has
Okay.
fantastic resources for anyone who wants to check it out. Try it out on your own first. The
Right.
Tapping Solution is a wonderful YouTube channel. Tons of free videos. That's actually how I discovered
Okay.
EFT. So yeah,
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, the other question I wanted to ask you is with the EFT, is that something you can do anywhere, anytime? Was that something you have to be like in a secluded place on a table in your bedroom? Or could you be driving and just pull over somewhere and just start? Is it a designated time and period you have to do it?
no, that's the wonderful thing about it. You can literally do it anywhere, anytime. It's very fast. You could absolutely do it while you're driving as long as you just have, one hand on the wheel because you can
Right.
tap using one hand or both. Some people like to use both, but it doesn't matter. You can do either side of the body. A lot of people like to do it before bed. For
Okay.
other people, might be first thing in the morning. And I would say it depends on the issue. So let's say you just have a really stressful uh, event. Maybe you are sitting in traffic
Hmm.
or you've had a bad day at work. You just need to kind of uh, take the edge off a little bit.
Okay.
Wonderful for that. I'd say if you want to work on something a little more like a deeper issue,
Right.
definitely set that time aside for yourself so you can have that full, allow those emotions to come up.
Okay.
Make sure you have, privacy and support, whether that's a practitioner or just your support system in place. Because sometimes people are surprised the emotions that come up while they're doing
Hmm.
this. So if when you're first trying it out, um, maybe try it before you at a time when you don't have anything big going on right
Right.
after that. Just see how, see what comes up for you.
Okay. Now, do you have any videos out there that we can check out, or is just, or you're not at that point yet?
Yeah, I do. I am also on YouTube. Tap Out Burnout
Okay.
is my channel. And I don't actually do like tapping videos. I talk about other topics and what EFT can
Okay.
help with. Only because I like being able to work uniquely one-on-one with clients and develop a plan that's perfectly tailored to them. So
Okay. So is that solely what you do is EFT? There's no other practices you do? It's just the EFT or?
yes, that is my one modality. And honestly, it's just because it works so well. I haven't
Hmm.
found a need for anything else. I'm also certified in neuro-linguistic programming. So
Okay.
I'll sometimes use elements of that because our words are
Right.
so powerful, and understanding how the mind interprets information is really
Right.
helpful, but it's mostly just classic EFT.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I'm curious now, do you suggest that EFT can just be a primary source of healing, or do you like recommend other sources of healing or other practices of healing?
That's a great question. So I'm not a medical professional or a
Right.
licensed therapist. So that's the lawyer in me, right? Disclaimer, consult your doctor.
Yeah.
But I think so many of us have felt let down by Western medicine that we
Yes.
are empowering ourselves and searching for other solutions. I
Mhm.
personally have tried Reiki,
Yes.
meditation, breath work. I have done traditional therapy, which I highly recommend. Bonus, if you can find a therapist who is trauma informed, if that's an issue for you.
Right.
And there's a lot of mainstream therapists who now use EFT tapping because it has
Okay.
become so widely known as being effective. But I would say just try out and find what works for you.
Right.
Some people love breath work. When
Hmm.
I tried it, I had not yet done EFT. I'd be curious to try it again because
Right.
honestly, for me, that rapid breathing almost brought on a panic attack,
Oh,
and
wow.
it wasn't for me.
Right.
Everyone's different, so
Right. Okay. So I don't know if this is the same question. It may sound the same. So would you recommend combining the different practices? Because I do a lot of binaural beats.
yeah.
So would that be a good um collaboration to do binaural beats along with tapping?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
have subliminal tracks going.
Right.
I love listening to like sleep subliminals at
Hmm.
night. You could have that in the background while you're playing or while you're tapping, or you
Right.
could play like a certain frequency, 432 hertz or whatever
Right.
frequency you needed while you're doing the tapping. So you can absolutely combine it, and it's completely safe, and there are no known side effects. So
Awesome.
I mean, how many things can you say that about?
I'm seriously going to look into this. He really got me intrigued with that because it sounds interesting, and I'm like anxious to see what the results would be.
Yes,
Now,
yeah, you should try it.
so that's kind of leading to another question. This may sound kind of crazy, but what if someone is not really experiencing burnout? It could just be a little bit of stress.
Hmm.
So, is there a difference between someone's like extremely burned out where you can actually start seeing results, or opposed to somebody that just may been sitting in traffic too long and they just got stressed out? So, is it a difference between the level of anxiety for the results of tap out?
Not at all. And I would say it can be an amazing preventative tool.
Hmm.
So the earlier you start, we can actually prevent that burnout and that stress from becoming debilitating.
Okay.
So nothing necessarily has to be wrong either for you to need to want to try EFT. It's
Right.
also just a great like a peak performance tool. It can help
Right.
with creativity, brainstorming, and like
Hmm.
you said, just kind of getting that stress level down with anything
Right.
that may come up day to day. So really, it's just an amazing self-care tool
Right.
to be done daily.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna challenge you a little bit.
Okay.
So if you're not, like I said, not really experiencing that, and you do that as a preventive, so how would you really know there's any results coming from it because you don't have that normal anxiety? Or like for me, I'm not stressed out right now. So if
Hmm.
I started doing it today and for the rest of the week, what symptoms can I get from if I'm not experiencing any type of stress or burnout?
Yeah, I would say even greater feelings of relaxation. So
Okay.
let's say you wanted to try it before bed or before something big as far as your
Hmm.
work or your business to feel more motivated or uh, to inspire more positive feelings. It can be
Right.
great for that too. So
Okay.
it's not just always about reducing the negative. It can
Right.
also be done to
Increase the positive.
yeah,
Okay, awesome. So it's not just for that, it's universal. It can be used for anything.
exactly.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so do you do any like speaking events, or do you travel? And okay, you have anything
Yeah.
coming up soon on the East Coast, or
No, I wish. I actually just spoke to a group of lawyers a couple weekends ago. Here in California, it was a group of county councils, all employment lawyers. And yeah, when I asked the question about burnout, like every hand in the room went up. And so that was the only second in-person event I've done because it seems like
okay,
since COVID, we're still kind of getting back to that. So
right,
it was a lot of fun to be
right,
in person again. And
yeah,
um, but yeah, I love doing online events and it allows me to reach more people and keep those travel costs down.
right. I'm sitting here thinking as you're talking, I'm thinking military might be a definitely a good customer for that because I'm prior military, I'm retired, so you're stressed out all the time. deployments, field problems, and so forth. So I think that's something I'm going to definitely look into, um, and see how that works out.
Yeah,
Okay,
happy
so is it?
Veterans Day.
Oh, thank you. I'm definitely going to take advantage of it tomorrow.
Yeah, and P and EFT has been hugely useful working with veterans dealing with PTSD.
Yeah, I was reading that in your bio.
Yeah.
Okay. So what type of attorney are you? Are you a defense attorney?
So I do civil work, so real
Okay.
estate, environmental, land use. I get contaminated properties cleaned up and redeveloped. So
Okay.
very different world.
Okay. Awesome. So you've definitely seen positive results from this with your colleagues.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So is there anything you would like to add to the viewers as far as if they should do it, when they should do it? Like I said, anything that's from your experience that you can share with them or
I would say just don't wait like I did. Just don't be skeptical. Just keep an open mind and try it. Find some free resources online and just keep an open mind and an open heart. And yeah, just know how powerful you are.
okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I know it's early. You got a lot to do. So if you could just share with the viewers a website where they can reach you at, the YouTube channel, and like I said, any speaking engagements you have coming up in the near future.
Absolutely. So I am here on YouTube at Tap Out Burnout. I'm on Instagram as Tap Out Burnout. Website is tapoutburnout.com, and that's all one word. And I'd love to chat with you. I offer free 30-minute burnout strategy sessions. So I would love to chat with you and see if we're a good fit.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again, Tracy, for taking your time out this early morning. And I'm
Absolutely.
definitely going to look into it. I'm going to be checking out your website. So you enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy your weekend. And again, humbly thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Matthew.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, beautiful people. There you have it. That was pretty quick episode. She was out there in California, so I know it's still kind of early, and she's an attorney, so I know she had a lot of work and stuff to do. But hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Hopefully you got good information from it. And like I said, that's nothing I've never heard of before. I've never heard of EFT. So I'm definitely curious what it is. I'm going to do my research in it. Um, and I'm actually going to try it. I'm a true believer in trying anything once. If it doesn't work, then, I'll move on. But, for those of you that do believe in energy or energy work, definitely try it out. And like I said, Mark will be on tomorrow at 5 Eastern. I know he have a great topic for you. And again, I thank you for taking time out this morning. And I will see you tomorrow. Remember, beautiful people, your thoughts becomes your belief, and your belief creates your reality. All right, y'all have a good one. I'm out. Peace.